Hi, welcome to Country Girl with Kathy Jarvis. And today I'm going to tell you some of the tools that I feel like I do not want to garden without. And if you're thinking about starting a new garden, or if you're a seasoned gardener and you don't have one of these, you might think about getting them in the future or asking for them as Christmas gifts. The first thing that I really like is my Rue apron. Now this has little pockets that you can put the tools in, but it also protects your clothes when you're working in the garden. Next thing is a hat. Broad rim hat with some air hose to allow air to circulate, and this will help keep the sun off your head. Another thing is garden gloves. Now I go through a lot of garden gloves a year. I like the ones with the claws when you're first in spring, when you're first transplanting stuff. And then after that, I go with the garden gloves. I find these Gorilla gloves work really well. They hold up well. They don't cost as much as the garden gloves from the garden center, and they do such as good job. You also need a garden tote to carry your tools in. I keep a Leatherman, which has pliers and stuff in it. I also keep a Swiss Army knife in it. Another thing you want to have is some hand tools. A cultivator, a weeder, and a trowel. Labels and wire to hold your plants up to stake them. And your pruners, either bypass pruners, and these are ratchet pruners. Use them all the time. And of course, the wheelbarrow. You really need a wheelbarrow. Another thing that I use a lot are hose. You need a good quality hose. And in the summertime, I like these wands. You can hook those to the end of the hose and then just water farther out to reach places. In the wintertime, when you don't want to get your hose and you still got plants that you need to water, I use the watering can. So that's good, so that way you don't have to drain your hose each time in the winter. Another thing that I like are these flexible tubs. They're easy to carry. You can put your weeds that you're pulling, put those and carry it to the compost, rinse it out, go back and harvest, take the harvest to the house. So they kind of serve a double purpose. Now we think about tools, large tools. I like this stirrup hoe. I put off buying a stirrup hoe for a long time. I just worked with a regular hoe, and I got this, and I'm thinking, why did I get this before? This is so easy. In the spring, when or even right now, when the weeds are just real small, just take this over your bed real lightly. It just cuts the weeds off right at the top, right at just below the surface, and it helps cut down weeds immensely. Another thing you're going to need is a garden fork or pitchfork. Use this to turn the dirt, to turn the compost. A rake. Use the rake to rake up leaves, also to level out your beds in the spring before you plant. Now this is one of my favorite tools. Yes, I love this. It's a loper, kind of like a cutter. And you can cut it from here, pull it here, and it closes it, or you can pull it here for farther. And this thing has a lifetime guarantee. In fact, I broke the head off of this one, contacted the company, they sent me a new head. So this is a really good investment. I've had this one for a long, long time. Another thing you'll need is just a plain shovel. Need that to move dirt around, to dig up some of your heavier things, some of the roots that did not. I usually leave my roots in the ground all winter, but come spring, some of them do not compost completely down, so you have to remove them. That works great for that. Another thing I like is this kneeler cedar. When you've worked all day and you've got one more bed to do and you want to get it done, these little arms help you immensely to get up. Get too tired, find a shade tree, turn it upside down, and sit on it for a while until you feel like going back out in the garden. Really, really like that a lot. Now the next thing on my list is a waterproof phone case. This has saved my phone more than once. I get watering and I forget where I put the phone, or it's in my pocket and I don't turn the water off correctly or something and it sprays all over me. This has really saved my phone. And it also has, this one actually has a plug that you can plug into a phone and then plug ear jacks into it. This was an older one. This was before Bluetooth, came around. So they've lasted a long time. It's got 3 different locks, so water's not going to get into it. And I also keep a whistle on it, just in case I need to call somebody or for help and my phone's not working. I also carry protection with me because I live fairly far out in the country, and sometimes I'm out here by myself, and I just like to know I have that little bit extra protection. So depending on where you live and how dangerous it is in your area, you might consider that also. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So I hope you've found something on this list that you find useful. Remember, if you have somebody who's just starting to garden and you need a gift for them, any of these items would be great gifts. Also, if you've been a seasoned gardener and you don't have any of these ideal items, you might think about getting them. They've made my life so much easier. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and dream big. Follow that dream, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody. Grr. Hi, kitty. Wouldn't give you enough attention, huh? All right. Another thing you shouldn't be without is a garden pest. Okay, near pruner of some sort. A trowel, your hand tools, your trowel, your cultivator, and your weeder. And you also need a tote to carry all this stuff in. Also, my favorite tool is a hoy knife. This thing has a cutting edge on this side, which is very sharp, has a segregated edge on this side, has a notch where you can cut rope, and also has markings on the front of it that tells you how deep things are. Let me get this cat off my back.